Hey guys! Happy October! Welcome back to the channel. This is Writing with a Snack, and today we're going to be reviewing We Have Always Lived in a Castle by Shirley Jackson.
I was thinking of Charles. I could turn him into a fly and drop him into a spider's web and watch him tangled and helpless and struggling, shut into the body of a dying, buzzing fly.
So before we get into the book, let's talk a little bit about the life of Shirley Jackson. When she was a kid, she didn't really fit the mold that her mother wanted for her, and she felt very lonely. And so I think that's really how she got into writing, or at least writing the kind of things that she does write. She writes a lot about loneliness and about being an outsider, and I think that really starts with her mother when she's a kid. Her mom wished she was more pretty, more ladylike, and wished she wasn't a writer writing fiction. As she continued to adult, she didn't really grow out of that. I honestly don't think she ever got over that. And then she married a book critic, and he would sleep with all kinds of other women and then tell her all the stories about it, and she felt like she kind of just had to take it. She lived in, I believe it was a small town in Vermont, and again, she felt like an outsider even there. And then she had this persona of being a witch. I just absolutely love that. I believe she was prominent in the 50s. I think I'm gonna move this a little closer to me. Hi. Also, something else I was gonna mention that kind of sucks for her was she started making more than her husband with her writing, but as the male of the household, he had control of all the finances, and I don't think he actually ever told her that she was making more. And then another fun fact, they had so many books combined when they moved into one of their homes. They had to spread out initially like their books evenly across the floor because there was a concern that the weight of the books would collapse the floor. We have always lived in the castle. So this follows Constance and Mary Cat. They live in this house with their uncle. Their whole family used to live there, but their whole family was killed in a poisoning. Also, the other peculiar thing is the older sister Constance, she won't leave the house. So they had come to a point where they don't really leave the house at all except for groceries. Mary Cat forces herself to stop in the local cafe and talk, even though she knows the girl there doesn't want her there. Shirley Jackson, she's queen at dialogue and characterization. The Daemon Lover. If you're gonna read any short story from her, Over the Lottery, I loved that one. I thought that was so good. It creeped me out and it gave me massive anxiety. Hey, honestly, she's not amazing at writing different kind of stories. She knows how to create anxiety, she knows how to create isolation, and the ongoings of the human condition and the human mind, and how sometimes we don't know if we're crazy or not. God, I still think about, even though The Haunting of Hill House wasn't my favorite thing that I ever read, the ending still gives me chills. But anyways, we have always lived in the castle. The characterization, we have the 18-year-old girl Mary Cat and her mental condition, which I would say is very confident. She knows what she wants, but at the same time she has these outbursts, these tantrums when the way that their life is changed, when she's not able to go to the grocery store on the correct day, when a family member comes and kind of rattles up their life, and he wears her father's clothes and he's there at breakfast when he's not usually. Mary Cat is also very superstitious. She buries things for protection and luck, and her older sister Constance, she's afraid of everything. She's afraid to leave the house. She isolates herself, but not in the same way Mary Cat does. Constance isolates herself because she's afraid of the outside world, and Mary Cat isolates herself because she doesn't need the outside world, because she hates the outside world and she hates all the people in it. And I think that was such an interesting distinction between those two characters, and I can see the manipulation by Mary Cat to keep Constance in her bubble, because eventually Constance feels like she's mentally healing, like she's ready to go out and live a life, and you can see Mary Cat's crazy. You can just see the manipulation, and it's just, I have chills again. The other thing that was so interesting, this book describes how folklore and fairy tales and stories come to life. And it makes you question, maybe some of the stories we've been told, maybe they're not fake. Maybe they're real. Maybe they happened. Maybe they had a backstory to how they got to that point. And I just thought it blew my mind. I hear something. I think it's just the freeway. And I'm always scared that it's aliens. I only talk about spooky stuff in October. It was almost a perfect book for me. It was about a 4.7 out of 5. So good. And yeah, I really recommend her memoirs. If you don't like fast pacing, then I probably wouldn't read her books. It's not even that it's fast pacing. It's just like, it's hectic. That's the word. It feels hectic, especially the memoirs. But I love it. Like my heart would just beat with like the pacing of the book. I don't know. It's like, cause it's not quick, but it feels quick in my heart. I just think she's underrated, or I saw a lot of 1-star reviews that says she's overrated. So let me know, is she overrated? Is she underrated? Check out these other books by her. I do hope that you enjoyed this, and I guess I'll see you next time. Thanks guys, bye.